The COVID-19 pandemic has affected Kenya's food systems directly through impacts on food supply and demand, and indirectly through decreased capacity to produce and distribute food. In response to that, the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperatives is addressing food supply chain and nutrition challenges through the establishment of 1 million kitchen gardens in rural and urban households. Through these 1 million kitchen gardens, the ministry is contributing to the Big Four agenda on the 100% food and nutrition security by enabling households to maintain a healthy diet. The ministry is supporting vulnerable households with kitchen garden starter kits that are simple, space and water efficient. So far, the first phase of the project has supported over 200,000 households through the KSAP, NARIC and CVAP projects. In phase 2, the ministry will support an additional 200,000 vulnerable households in setting up their own kitchen gardens.
So we are here today at the Ministry of Agriculture, Kilimo House, where we have the model kitchen garden demonstration site, where we set up all the technologies that all households are able to adapt to be able to give them not only knowledge, but also be able to, give them the instructions, step-by-step guidance on how to set up these gardens.
There are several incredible ideas through which one can establish a simple, space and water efficient kitchen garden using locally available materials. They include the cone garden, the multi-story garden, the micro garden, tire garden, moist bed garden, the wick irrigation garden, and the simple drip irrigation garden. In this video, we will look at the wick irrigation technology that is suitable for pastoralists and schools. This technology uses minimal water since the crop is irrigated using a wick material that soaks up water. This technology is ideal for wall spaces, on ladders and erected stands. To construct a wick garden, you will need 5-liter jerrycans that are opaque or dark colored in order to reduce weed growth and increase heat retention in the soil, a wick material that can be made of an old piece of blanket or towel, cutting tools, nails, soil mixed with manure on a ratio of 1:1, seedlings and water.
To start off, this is our material. We need a tape measure. We are going to measure 2 centimeters wide and 30 centimeters long. 2 centimeters is up to here. Then we again measure 30 centimeters, which is up to here. So you'll hold for me so that I cut and we test. Our wick material, 2 centimeters wide and 30 centimeters long. And we have the 2 containers to test if our material will be able to take up water. So to do that, you dip half of it into the water and wait for 5 minutes to see if it will drip the water. We have already seen that our wick material is able to transport water to the plant. So we have the 5-liter jerrycan that we are going to use for planting. And we will cut the bottom part inside about 3 centimeters. have the two containers. This is where we are going to fill in the soil, and this is where we'll put our water. But we have to use the top and make a hole through it. When making a hole, you can use a sharp knife, or if you have a drill, you will use a drill to make a hole where the wick will be fitted through. So you can see I've already done the hole. Now I take my wick material and pass it through that hole. Pull it through halfway. Then the next step, you take the 5-liter bottle and pass through that wick and tighten the top. You make sure you balance it halfway such that 15 centimeters will go into the water and 15 centimeters will go into the soil where you are going to do your planting. So this is basically going to be our shamba. We'll fill in manure mixed with soil at a ratio of 1:1. So this is going to be our watering point, the source of water, and this is going to be our shamba. Now we need to fix both our watering point and our shamba or the garden onto a ladder. And to construct this ladder, you also need to use readily available materials. You can use recycled materials like pallets, timber from pallets, or if you are in a homestead where you have grown trees, you can cut down your trees and make the structure where you are going to fix your irrigation system. Now when you are done with preparing the container and the irrigation point, then you come and fix them on the ladder that you have already constructed, like this particular one. You may not have materials for a ladder, but you have a wall. So you can use timber of 1 inch by 2 inches. You fix against the wall across, and then some timber running down the wall. Then you come and fix your garden plus the irrigation container. So the space between one and the next is 15 centimeters. And when you are fixing, before you put the soil, you make sure that your wick is at an angle of 45 degrees. You hold around 45 degrees as you put the soil. Then when it reaches halfway the container, you drop it on top of the soil and fill with the soil mixed with manure at ratio of 1:1. That ensures that the roots of the vegetables all will be reached with the water. So now it's halfway, and my wick was at an angle of 45 degrees, and now I want to put it to lay over the soil and fill up. Once you have filled nicely, you water, making sure your soil is damp enough. Then because it's the first time the soil is dry, you also make sure you water the soil before planting. Then now your shamba is ready for planting. And normally this kind of technology, the preferred vegetables are vegetables that do not grow very tall. If you have to put the ones that grow tall, they need not to have deep roots. And for today, our choice of vegetable, we are going to plant lettuce. That is what we are going to plant. You come and make a hole at the center. You press nicely, making sure you plant at the level where the seedling was in the nursery. Lettuce does not have deep roots and matures very fast, so it's a very good choice of vegetable for this technology. In 30 to 40 days, we'll be harvesting our lettuce.
Our appeal to the viewers that may be watching this is, see something and implement. This is how we collectively contribute to food and nutrition security when each and every household is able to produce safe food within the confines of their homes.
From this tutorial, it is our hope that you will be able to establish your own kitchen garden and enjoy a constant supply of fresh, nutritious vegetables, fruits and spices for you and your family. In case you need more information, kindly log on to www.kilimo.go.ke.